This bothered me back in June. This is Michael Carson back with another video. And what I never understood is why, Suella was only one of 13 MPs to speak back in June before they did a quick vote. You're watching the replay of the count and everything on the screen at the moment. So why exactly? It doesn't make any sense. Why was Suella only one of 13 MPs to speak back in June before they had their quick vote? I haven't checked the exact bill yet to see if the Lords still have to vote on it, but it's like it shouldn't even have passed. It doesn't make any sense whatsoever. Move over to a tweet by Ben Obish Jerity, where he talks about the fact that he voted no, he's pro-choice, but you can scarcely believe that after 46 rush minutes of backbench debate in which only 13 MPs gave speeches, Parliament voted to decriminalize abortion of healthy babies up to full term. I mean, it's just ridiculous. And he retweets the UK politics breaking MPs voted to decriminalize after 24 weeks in England and Wales, and the yes votes were 379 to no 137. See, I'm bringing this up again, more or less, because it doesn't make any sense. And I'll go ahead and play the Suella video now.
On the point about the risks involved with abortion to birth, does she share my concern? What does she think about jurisdictions where this has been decriminalised, such as New Zealand or the state of Victoria in Australia, where there's been a significant increase in failed late-term abortions, where a baby has been born and there's been a lot of physical harm and risk as a result?
The Suella video comes from a clip from Right to Life UK their Twitter, and it's Suella Braverman MP warns the countries where abortions have been decriminalized there have been significant rise in failed late-term abortions with serious physical harm and risks as a result. And we should not follow the path, and that was posted June 17th. And look how few people are actually, you can see from the Suella video, I'll put a pause on the video, and you can see how few people are actually in the room. And it was rammed through for no freaking reason. It's ridiculous. And I took basically June off until the end of June for making videos and things like that. At the end of the midterm elections, at the beginning of May, I didn't think there'd be any action, so I just took a break for a while. There was U.S. stuff, there was riots, there was all sorts of things, but I didn't think there'd be much on the UK front, but it didn't. reformuk did another smear against Rupert Lowe, and that kind of soured me. And I held off on actually making a video about it because, it's just sad that Reform had to smear Rupert Lowe again because they couldn't handle the smear on Mohammed Zia Youssef about his dog and his management style, so they attacked Rupert Lowe instead. And I have to make a video on that because the timeline matters, and it was used as a political football to gain an upper hand in trying to free Lily Connolly from jail. It's really horrible, and it needs to be talked about, so I'll be making a video on that. Not doing anything for a while because I don't have very good video skills, so it's going to take me a while. And you'll notice echoing or interference with the audio again. I don't know exactly what's causing my interference. I thought I had it squared away before, but I think something else was causing it. Hopefully I can get it fixed again. Let me go ahead and read the article. Abortion rate hits record high with 3 in 10 pregnancies ending in termination. There were 247,703 conceptions leading to illegal abortion in 2022, a 13.1 rise on the 218,923 recorded in 2021, the ONS said. The problem with the ONS data is ever since the pandemic, they changed the way they recorded data. I will put up my icon, my thumbnail from my video from months ago, where I talk about this. And if you go watch that video, you can see columns of data completely missing. It's horrendous. I don't even know. I haven't checked if the House of Lords have to deal with the bill, because nobody's actually pointed out what the bill is, and I haven't done any digging yet. I was going to probably do some digging after I did a very long video that I don't want to do, because I don't want to point out bad behavior of a person that I like. And it's so horrible. Let me just continue reading. Legal abortions in England and Wales are now account for a high record proportion of conceptions, with official statistics revealing almost 3 in 10 pregnancies ended this way in 2022. The Office for National Statistics, ONS, reported the figures stood at 29.7% in 2022, a rise from 26.5% in a year earlier and 20.8% in 2012. This percentage had generally been increasing across all age groups since 2015, the statistics body confirmed. But see, they're not telling you where the data, which data they're pulling from, because if they tell you where the data they're pulling from, the exact data, I'd have to actually look it up. See, it says graphic source ONS. It doesn't tell you where the data actually is on ONS website. I have to go digging to find it. I bet you'd find some empty, missing columns there. Let me reread that. There were 247,703 conceptions leading to illegal abortion in 2022, a 3.1% rise. The 218,923 recorded in 2021. Figures published last year by the government, that's a link, now it goes to the Independent, showed a number of abortions in 2022 for women living in England and Wales was at a record level of 251,377. The ONS said that the data is based on the estimate date of conception, while the Department of Health and Social Care, DHSC, figures are based on the date of the abortion, leading to a difference in overall numbers. Yeah, see, ONS likes to fabricate and estimate numbers, so their numbers aren't exactly. Like I said, I had that, it's got the Doge thing on my little thumbnail for that I made months ago. You should check it out. So yeah, ONS, they're not really doing very good work these days, ever since the pandemic, so go check out that video if you haven't already. The British Pregnancy Advisory Service, BPAS, said lengthy waiting times for some forms of conception, as well as financial struggles faced by many, could explain the rise. Girls aged under 16 remained the age group with the highest percentage of conceptions leading to abortion at 61.0%. Why don't they just say 61%? Women aged between 30 and 34 had the lowest percentage of conceptions leading to abortion in 2022, around a fifth, or 20.5%. The age group with the highest number of conceptions was women in their early 30s at 249,991. Women aged in their 40s had a conception rate of 17.2 per 1,000 women in 2022, slightly below the record high of 17.3 per 1,000 women in 2021, the ONS said. And here's another graph via the ONS. You can take a look at it. I'll leave it up here for a second. Catherine O'Brien from British Pregnancy Advisory Service, BPAB, said women are facing significant barriers in access to conception, including long waiting times and difficulties in securing appointments. She added, at BPAS, we regularly hear from women who are seeking an abortion after falling pregnant while waiting for repeat pill prescriptions or coil insertions. Emergency contraception, while not a silver bullet to unplanned pregnancy, remain underutilized resource in this country, which is the morning after pill. The majority of women not accessing this vital backup method after episode of unprotected sex. With the majority of women not accessing this it's not vital. What if they actually want to get pregnant? That's the funny thing. The government has committed to improving access via pharmacies, but we need to see this medication reclassified so that it can be sold in a wider range of outlets, including supermarkets, so that women can access it swiftly as possible. She also noted interest rate hikes and an increase in cost of living in 2022, which she said might have led to women and their partners having to make sometimes tough decisions around continuing or ending a pregnancy. She added no women should have to end pregnancy what she would otherwise have continued purely for financial reasons, and no women should become pregnant because their healthcare system is failing to provide women with contraception they want when they need it. Well, you know who's not using contraception? Muslim families. So keep that in mind. And here's a chart on contraception leading in legal abortion, and it shows 18.6% to 40.3% in the blue, and that's for the whole main island. I'm not going to expand it outward because it's 2022 data. I don't even know if it's solid. Caroline Ansel from the Charity of Christian Action Research and Education Care described the figures as heartbreaking, that it is especially painful if poverty is a driving factor. Ms. Ansel said the scale of abortion in England and Wales is heartbreaking for those who recognize that every life, no matter how tiny, is precious. Behind these statistics are women whose stories of traumatic and regret are rarely heard in public debate. Understanding that poverty can be driving factors is especially painful. A just and compassionate society provides support so that women can carry their babies to term, then care for their children as they grow and develop. The proportion of contraceptions ending in legal abortions in 2022 varied in different parts of the country, the data shows. Across all age groups, the figures were highest in northwest England, 32.6%, and lowest in eastern England, 27.3%. But the gap was much larger among younger age groups, with the figures for 16 to 17-year-olds ranging from 48.2% of conceptions in Yorkshire and Humber to 66.2% in London. Wow, that's pretty high. Among 18 to 19-year-olds, the proportion ranges from 48.1% of conceptions in northeast England to 62.6% in London. Wow. Those are pretty short gaps on the age ranges there. Lowest regional percentages were 30 to 34-year-old age group, where the figures dropped as low as 18.5% for Eastern England and 18% for Southwest England. At a local level, Liverpool and Brighton and Hove had a joint highest proportion of contraceptions ending in legal abortions in 22 across all ages, 40.3%, followed by the London borough of Lambeth 38.4%, and Haldon in Cheshire 38.1%. And East Cambridgeshire had the lowest percentage, 18.6%, followed by South Cambridgeshire 20.0%. Bolsover in Derbyshire 20.2%, and Mid Suffolk 21.0%. The DHSC statistics published last year showed the figure of 251,377 abortions for women living in England and Wales in 2022, had risen by almost a fifth in a year. This was the highest number since the Abortion Act was introduced almost 60 years ago, and was a rise for 17% on the 2021 figure. The department said taking medication at home, known as telemedicine, was the most common procedure, accounting for 61% of all abortions in 2022, which is like the morning after pill, I suppose. This was up 9 percentage points since 2021, the DHSC said. Temporary measures put in place during the pandemic, approving the use of both pills and early medication abortion at home without the need for first attending a hospital or clinic, were made permanent in England and Wales in 2022. That's horrible. And what's worse about this is they're going to use this as a driving force to get people to vote Labor. Because what they do in America, they even talk about abortion or restricting abortion rights. They come out with marches, my body, my choice. They want people to get vaccinated for COVID and all this other stuff and take experimental drugs, but my body, my choice when it comes to abortion stuff. And that's what's going to happen in the United Kingdom. You just watch. Well, if you enjoyed this video, thank you for watching. Please consider watching another. And I will see you in the next video.